The best business advice I received was actually from my father, and he said, chart your own course. It was through following my father's advice that I really began to develop my true north and discovered my inner sense of purpose.
From my mother, she said, "You got this." I knew from that moment on that I had it, and if I stayed true to my values and led with integrity, I would be just fine.
Talk to people when you don't need something from them. There's so much to learn. It's a way to build relationships.
Truly take the time to understand people's motivations. If you understand what makes a person tick, you have a much better chance of motivating them and inspiring them to do great things.
We have to rely on each other in the company, but we also have to be able to work together as a team. It's not one person that comes up with an answer or a solution, it's a team, and we have to rely on everybody and everybody's feedback as we build a small company to a large company.
My favorite quote is "Invest your time, don't spend it," by Nick Saban. It really helps keep me grounded in where I spend my time and energy.
My favorite quote is from Simon Sinek. Leadership is not about being in charge, but taking care of people in your charge.
If you watch me, I grew up in a small town in West Virginia, and I think I was underestimated a lot of the beginning of my career. I had to roll up my sleeves and hustle a little bit harder than everybody else. While it's good to be authentic in who you are, you also have to show up and hustle harder because that's how success is done.
The dogs will bark, but the sled will move on. Why? Because people are going to try to distract you, and you need to stay focused and move on.
Simplicity over complexity. And the reason why I say that is because in business, there's a lot going on and there's a lot of dynamics, and sometimes you can overanalyze things.
One of my favorite quotes is from Steve Jobs. "The only way to do great work is to love what you do," which to me means you've got to bring your passion into your job. When you do what you love, it creates a purpose to what you're doing.
My favorite quote by Hitendra Wadhwa is, "Average leaders focus on results, and that's it. Great leaders focus in addition on the behaviors that drive the results, and exceptional leaders focus on the emotions that drive the behaviors behind the results."
Leave things better than I found them. That's teams, that's people, that's situations, processes. Build the capacity in others through driving initiatives and priorities forward.
Learn how to learn. Given the pace of innovation and change that we've seen in the last 5 years, being able to keep up with that pace of innovation, you have to put in the time, you have to always be learning.
A defining moment in my life has been deciding that taking a risk was going to be worth it for myself and for the company. We've had several challenges as a small company in trying to grow, and me as a leader. But when we committed to our vision, committed to our goals, and decided the risk was worth it, I think that really changed the company and our direction and our growth.
I started my career in environmental chemistry, but early on I had an opportunity to work in a food science lab, which is where I learned that creativity and chemistry coexist in food, which is something that I truly loved, and it changed the course of my career forever.
The defining moment in my career was when my daughter was diagnosed with a terminal tumor, and I had to step away from work and really be with my family and leave my career behind. And I watched my entire law firm, from partnership to staff, step in, take over, and take care of my family and take care of my clients.
At the age of 14, I started a franchise called Cookie Factory of America. I grew that into a multi-unit concept, was able to sell that when I exited college, learned all about entrepreneurship, and can help others today continue to fulfill their wishes in business ownership, growing concepts, and success.
A real defining moment for me was when I saw design meet community impact, and I really understood that design was more than just something tangible that you delivered, but that it really helped shape and influence lives.
Running my own business every day is amazing, to be able to wake up every morning and have goals in place and work towards it. Some days are not easy, but you just keep at it, and the results are super rewarding.
When I was asked to take on some leadership responsibilities, and I actually turned it down 3 times. I think I had a bit of imposter syndrome, a bit of concern about whether I could step up for the task. And when I ultimately said yes, it was a pivotal moment for me to feel confident in my leadership abilities. And from that moment on, I've really chosen to say yes to everything that's come my way.
A real defining moment for me was finding a time in that early part of our journey where I had to come back, step back from that consuming focus of business and really focus on my family. That ultimately they were going to be there long after the business, and I needed to make sure my priorities were focused in the right way.
Becoming CEO of Bueller Companies. It's accomplishing the all-American dream, starting at the bottom of a company 30 years ago and working my way to the top to be CEO. It's been a journey, and I'm extremely proud, and it is the spirit of a true Titan.
The advice I would give my younger self is to fire my inner critic. Once I realized that, I could tune out the static and really fire that inner critic. In that way, I had a broader perspective that really helped my leadership.
Push yourself outside of your comfort limits. Do everything that you can. Always be networking and never stop learning.
Advice I'd give my younger self is to just do the thing. Momentum comes from action. So start that business you've been thinking about. Make that investment you've had on your mind.
Be fearless. Being fearless isn't about running from the fear. It's about having the confidence to confront it and go through it. Confidence is what creates fearlessness. The more you believe in what you bring to the table, the more unstoppable you become.
Be myself and not what others want me to be. To be curious and ask a lot of questions, and to be intentional about how I spend my time and where I spend my time.
The best advice I could give to myself is not to take life so seriously. When I was younger, I worked so hard at building a career, and I forget how to live my young adult life. You don't get to be young forever, so you have to remember to, live it instead of working so hard.
Take the pressure valve down just a bit. Life is a marathon and not a sprint. And if I could really just remind myself to take time to breathe, giving your best and being present in the moment is really what's the most important factor.
Be dedicated to take every opportunity to learn and lean into every aspect of your life, not just your career.
The advice I'd give my younger self is enjoy the journey. The journey is like climbing a mountain. It's about bringing the people you love together with you on your journey and accomplishing the next ridge. And if you can't make that ridge, stop, look back, find a new direction, find a new way, and go after it again. Because you'll make it, but never quit.